All right, team. The Grendel is before you. What do?
We immediately charge at the Grendel.
Your weapons will shatter against the Grendel's hide. If you recall, when the king spoke of the threats that plagued his kingdom, he had also mentioned that the Grendel was immune to weapons not blessed by the gods.
Game Master, that is completely unfair. Augustine did not even include that in part 1 of the Beowulf series.
That's because he did not take notes. Also, meta-humor is not allowed.
Game Master, are you GMing the YouTube videos?
True game masters can GM reality itself.
Iris. We must retrieve our Lord's sword if we hope to win.
You mean the one that is missing because nobody guarded it?
Yes, that one. Og. So are you going to flee to grab a sword you don't know the location of? You are the most cowardly shield maiden ever. Iris. What else can we do? Blue. I have an idea. Game Master, do our fists shatter when we punch the Grendel?
Your fists do not shatter.
Blue. Then we must prevail with fists and fire. I punch the Grendel.
Sure.
Jamie. I diagnose the prince. Can he be saved?
If you found a way to stop the bleeding of his throat, you might be able to save him.
Iris. The prince is a dick. Does he deserve to be saved? Jamie. Maybe this experience will teach him a valuable life lesson that will change his ways. Og. I will use my fate witch powers to aid Jamie. I tie the fate strands of the prince to that of our Lord Beowulf, but I make a raise so that Beowulf is the dominant fate strand.
Since you have activated your fate powers, you see the blackening strings of the prince turn into a bloody shade of red directed at you for meddling with his fate strings. In the meantime, Beowulf and John can keep trying to pummel the Grendel.
Jamie. I believe I know how to stem the bleeding and keep the prince's throat from collapsing. Game Master, if I poke a stick through the prince's throat, would I be able to slow the bleeding yet allow the prince to breathe?
That could work.
Jamie. Okay, I take a meat poker and I sterilize it in a nearby fire since we are in the kitchen. Iris. Wouldn't the heated poker kill the prince? Og. Would you rather his neck get infected because the poker was not sterilized? Blue. Game Master, are there barrels of meat in this kitchen?
Yes, there are barrels of meat here.
Blue. I'll lift a barrel of meat and hurl it at the Grendel.
With the amount of raises you made and the roll you ended up with, you will have to wait until next turn to throw the barrel.
Jamie. I will now attempt to insert the poker into the prince's throat and treat him to the best of my ability.
I will now roll the prince's resolve check to see how well he endures the pain of the red-hot poker being inserted into his throat. And the prince is dead. I rolled all ones on his resolve check.
Jamie. Fuck. Og. Did my fate witchery do nothing?
Not enough to reverse a critical failure.
Jamie. Fucking wizards. You cannot trust them.
On the Grendel's combat turn, he will see Plu with a barrel of meat over his head and simply leap on top of him and slam through the barrel.
Jamie. Oh my god. The Grendel is fucking Mario and Plu is Donkey Kong. Og. Pretty much.
Beowulf charges at the Grendel.
Jamie. Now Beowulf and Grendel are on top of Plu. Plu is the battlefield. Plu. How much damage can I take before I die?
You can take twice as many dramatic wounds as your resolve. So as of right now you are crippled.
Og. Don't worry, Plu. With the power of quackery I can cure anything.
Technically, one of Beowulf's companions is slain by the Grendel if we are to follow the story. Because you guys are so good at following canon so far anyway.
Plu. Og. Don't feel bad, Plu. Remember, there are 13 companions. You can return to us as the seer or something if this warrior falls. Plu. Really? Game Master, would that be okay?
That is fine. You can choose any role you want that has not been filled yet. The Grendel will use its remaining actions to finish off your warrior if you are willing to let him die.
Plu. Okay.
The Grendel picks up the body of your warrior. What is the name of your fallen warrior?
Plu. Beowulf. Og. Beowulf, no. Why is fate so cruel? There is no justice. All is dust. Garrett. Beowulf's body is soaked in mead, right?
Yes. The mead barrel was smashed over Beowulf so his body would be soaked in mead.
Okay, I prepare to launch a fire arrow at the body of Beowulf and possibly the Grendel. Jamie. Wait, what? Are you desecrating the body of our fallen comrade? Og. Clearly he is giving Beowulf a Viking funeral, albeit on the back of our foe. That or he is congratulating the Grendel by cooking Beowulf for him. Delicious. Garrett. I fire anyway. Does the fire stick?
Nope. Your roll is insufficient to make the fire stick.
What? Why? Jamie. Mead is not a volatile liquid that is readily flammable. Og. We only succeeded with the meat air fuel explosion against the glowworm because 4 players united to make raises to defy physics and even the actual chemical composition of mead through the power of style.
So combat is concluded. You have lost one of your companions and the prince was also slain, though he died at Jamie's hands. Is there anything you wish to do for now?
We must regroup and see if the king recovers from whatever the princeling gave him before. Iris. We should also look for Bjornsson and the late prince's other allies since they would know where our lord's sword is.
Beowulf looks very confused. He had not realized his sword was missing.
Iris. But we told him about his missing sword already.
Yes, but you told him while he was drunk and in the middle of wenching.
Iris. Then we tell him again and tell him no doubt Bjornsson would have it.
A very angry Beowulf flies off the handle and runs off to interrogate random villagers.
Og. What do you mean by interrogate?
Basically he will ask people if they know where his sword is. When the villager says he does not know, he will beat him and ask him again. He will repeat this process until the villager passes out. Then he will question the next villager.
Jamie. How extreme is his interrogation? Do I need to give medical assistance?
Beowulf is not inflicting fatal wounds. The most harm he would inflict is probably a broken arm.
Iris. Do we find out anything?
No. All Beowulf does is terrorize a bunch of innocent villagers.
Iris. How is that possible? How can we not find out anything? I search for Bjornsson.
You find no leads.
Game Master, you are being completely unreasonable. What about Bjorn's house?
Well, if you ask around you will find where his house used to be.
What do you mean, used to be?
Several houses were demolished to create your wonderful defenses. Bjorn and many of the prince's allies are merely victims of Beowulf's recklessness. You are having a hard time finding allies of the prince because the lot of them were slaughtered by the Grendel. Those were the corpses surrounding the prince in the kitchen.
Oh. Was Bjorn's body amongst the slain?
No. Bjorn's body was not found. The following day the king awakens to see many of his subjects seriously injured and his son dead. He is deeply troubled.
Og. We tell the king that despite the exquisite defenses we built, the Grendel managed to sneak in and sow destruction in his wake. I will omit the part where our Lord Beowulf beats up most of the village.
Beowulf will cut you off and put his arm on the king. He tells the king that he would have been proud of his younger son fighting like a great hero to defend the village. Beowulf's speech moves the king to tears and he calls for a hero's funeral.
Jamie. Once again our Lord Beowulf has shown us that magic pours out of his mouth every time he speaks to NPCs.
The king calls out, "Who will die with my son? Who will be his wench into the afterlife?" No woman steps forward. The king calls out again.
Plu. Time to make my entrance as seer. I go to the women of the village and activate runes of pathos to sway the women to take pity on the prince.
A young girl finally steps forward. The king is very pleased. The girl will approach each of you and asks whether you will sleep with her as a comrade in arms of the heroic late prince.
Jamie. So, if we say yes, we have to admit that the despicable prince is an equal comrade in arms to us. But if I say no, I dishonor the girl. Fuck. John. Truly I am cursed to be traveling with you guys. Og. I reluctantly say yes.
See ya, Plu. When the old crone of the village hears of this funeral, she freaks out.
Plu. Why? John. The prince is not a warrior. He is a dishonorable kinslayer. He will not be going to Valhalla. You just condemned an innocent girl to eternal torment in one of the worst layers of hell reserved for kinslayers. You idiot. Plu. Oh. Whoops. I did not know.
John is correct. The funeral will happen tomorrow at dawn.
John. Is it possible to sneak out before the funeral begins?
Yes. That is fine. So will anyone else plan anything for the funeral?
Jamie. Can I help? John. No, all of you are useless. I will save the girl myself.
The funeral begins, and the wench is left on the boat as it burns and set to sail.
Plu. I will give a beautiful eulogy for the late prince.
Every word you utter annoys the old crone, as she is already giving the funeral rites only because the king ordered it.
John. I hurl my magic Heartseeker spear at the girl in hopes that I kill her before the flames take her to hell.
You do not deal enough damage to kill her.
Game Master, I will retroactively spend experience to give my spear barbs for more damage. Is she dead?
No. She is in a great deal of pain.
Og. This is a truly beautiful funeral. Now we will see if the bleeding kills the girl or the flames will. Mercy killings are fun. John. I pray. I fucking pray.
John, roll some dice and tell me what you get.
Okay, now what?
Despite the clear sky, a lightning bolt will strike your spear and instantly kill the girl. The king will see this omen and say that the gods have blessed his son's passage.
John. Thank you, Thor. You are truly merciful. Og. Plu is the greatest seer ever.
Congratulations are in order for finding a way to turn murder into the morally correct solution. Truly you are great heroes of legend, bards will speak of for generations.